Hey, what's going on, guys? I am Jake from TodaysiPhone.com, and if you were looking for a nice roundup of everything that happened this week in the world of Apple, wrapped in a nice video package, you've come to the right place. Alright, first, as you can probably tell, I could really use a haircut. Okay, and the next real story I want to talk about this week isn't really just one story at all. It's actually a bunch of stories. Cam has rounded up all of the iPhone 5 rumors and leaks and stuff that we've had this week into one convenient post. Now, the first iPhone 5 rumor is about the launch of the device, and apparently AT&T employees have been told that they have to finish up training and stuff by the beginning of September to help deal with the influx of customers at that time. And, you know, what brings in more customers than a new iPhone? Also on Tuesday, some supposed iPhone 5 schematics were leaked onto the web. Now, these are intended for case makers to have the right specs to create their products. And if you look at the schematics, it does show a larger screen, a thinner device, and a curved design. And while this is all nice and it really seems to flow with other rumors that we've been hearing, keep in mind that this could just be a good Photoshop job. Now, following the leaked schematics, 9to5Mac claims to have gotten their hands on some actual accessories made for the iPhone 5. Now, these do take a lot of cues from these schematics that we looked at. It's thinner, it has a curved design. The screen does seem to be bigger, and the device itself appears to be a bit longer and a bit wider. Now, there are a couple different stories of 9to5Mac obtaining these cases, and they all basically, show the same thing. But again, it wouldn't be very hard for any case maker out there to just make a case based on schematics that aren't real. But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if these were real schematics that at least closely resemble the next iPhone, because, it's not like anything pictured in them is too revolutionary. It seems to be stuff that we're expecting. A thinner device is standard for the iPhone. A bigger screen has been rumored for a long time, and I wouldn't be surprised if Apple gave it to us. In fact, the only thing I really would be surprised to see out of these rumors is the home button replaced by a larger touch-sensitive gesture area. Mac Rumors made a mock-up of a device based on these specifications with this home button thing, and I gotta say, it looks pretty awful. So I really hope that it's not on the next iPhone, and I don't think it will be. Now, on Thursday, 9to5Mac had another iPhone 5 leak when a reader took a picture of what they claim is an iPhone 5 being used on a San Francisco train. Now, the picture in question isn't too clear at all. There's a big possibility that it is just an iPhone 3GS, but it is clear that the black iPhone in the picture does have a curved back. It looks a bit thinner and wider than the iPhone 3GS, but that could just be the angle of the photograph and the bad image quality, or it could just be a tester with the iPhone 5. Although with all of the stuff that went down with the iPhone 4 being leaked way before it was supposed to be, I don't think Apple would just hand out phones to be used out in the public. Also on Thursday, some clearer images leaked of what is supposedly the iPhone 4S. Now, when this launches, this would be the little brother or the entry-level model to the iPhone line. It would be cheaper and a lower capacity storage. And what makes this iPhone different from the iPhone 4, which it looks very much like, is the fact that the white backing and the white front panel is not glass, but a translucent plastic, which I'm sure would be to bring the cost of the device down. It's so clear, there are multiple images, and you can really take a second to examine it and see that, the black lines of the antenna show that the back is translucent, and it definitely isn't the same material used on the iPhone 4. The only thing that's giving me pause is the fact that up until this point, when Apple has launched a new phone, the lower end model was just the model that was before the new version, and Apple didn't really change anything about it. So if this rumor does actually pan out, it would be the first time that Apple manufactured an iPhone specifically to be the lower end model, but it's not too far off. Okay, those are all of the big iPhone 5 rumors going around this week. I would love to know how you guys feel about these, which ones you're buying, which ones, are bogus. Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Moving on to iOS 5 news, this week Daniel did the third and final installment of his iOS 5 Hidden Features videos. This time he talks about a really cool new map feature that lets you see alternate routes. He mentions some iCloud features that have been enabled for everybody to use since the WWDC keynote, and he displays how you can finally delete songs, artists, playlists, or entire albums from your iPod right from the device. These videos are great and shed some light on the lesser known features in iOS 5, so definitely check them out. Links to all three in the description down below. Alright, and finally, the iPhone 5 wasn't the only Apple device grabbing headlines this week. As you probably know, rumors for a 3G iPod Touch have been floating around for a while now. but this week we have the most solid evidence that it actually could be coming. Now, surprisingly enough, this leak comes directly from the Apple website. It's actually a promotional image for the iPod Touch, the current version. If you look really closely at the upper hand corner of the screen, you'll notice that it does say 3G next to the signal bars. Now, on the current iPod Touch models, it just says iPod up there next to the signal bars. So this has got a lot of people very excited. Now, there's always a possibility that this is just bad photoshopping on Apple's part, or it could be a leak of iPhone 4 in a bar proportions. Either way, hopefully we won't have to wait too long until we find out. Alright, well that's all the big news for this week, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and keep in mind that the links to all of these stores I talked about in this video are in the description down below. If you want to talk to me a little bit more about any of the stuff I talked about today, or just chat about anything at all, you can follow me on Twitter at TIPJake. I try to answer everybody that tweets me, so if you have something to say, the best place to do it is there. And for more news, views, reviews, and much more information that I couldn't fit in this video, definitely head over to todaysiphone.com.